What they've done is they've said people come to a clinic run by usually a bunch of white folks or some big corporation like Pfizer Corporation, which is connected to the Bush family. Pfizer runs this clinic, or they set up or they fund a clinic through CARE or through UNICEF. And the Congolese people who are sick show up at the clinic and they've got tuberculosis, and they've got malaria, or they've got river blindness, or they've got diarrhea, or they've got just simple malnutrition. And the doctor says, you have AIDS. It's not true. But as long as they can continue to produce more and more numbers of people sick from AIDS, they can continue to get more and more money from the AIDS organizations. This is how it works. And what you've got is a person who's got tuberculosis suddenly has been diagnosed as having AIDS. And if they go back to their family and say, I've got AIDS, sometimes their family is going to push them away. And sometimes their village is going to push them away. So it's creating a major problem because people are being pushed out of their own families when all they have is malaria, and we can treat malaria. You understand what I'm saying? Of course, some people do have what would be diagnosed in the United States as legitimately as AIDS, but most of them have something else that has caused their immune system with malaria and river blindness and no nutrients because they have malnutrition. It's caused their immune system to collapse. And so it's easy for a doctor to say, well, you have AIDS. And we go back to Mr. Templespan on the board of the Harvard AIDS Institute. And we ask, what is really going on here? So if you want to go after the problem in the Congo, you go after Mr. Templespan. You don't go after anybody else. Let's go after one man. One man. Only one. Let's go after one man. And the evidence against Mr. Templespan is very significant because he's been involved in the Congo since 1959. And his networks have been involved. There's people in Kinshasa. You can go and talk to them. And they're supposedly creating clean diamonds. And you immediately bring up, well, what do you think about Mr. Templespan? And you find out, well, actually, they work with Mr. Templespan. And suddenly, they don't want to talk to you, and they get angry. Because who are they? They're trying to feed their families, too. Because the system is so corrupt and the suffering is so extreme in the Congo that at some point it becomes every man for himself. And every woman for her children.
You know, I think the biggest message I have is that there are many people here praying for the people of Congo and asking God to intervene. And we have hope in God, and so we continue to pray. We meet, in fact, tomorrow we have a prayer meeting for the situation in Congo and for the people there. And so for me, that's the biggest message, that there are people here in America who are praying for you.
I pray for them every day, and I pray for their endurance, and there is hope. Things can change, and if they stand up and fight and do what's right and help those around them, that it will change, and God will hear their cry. And don't stop, and we're supporting you from here as well.
All right, I'm here with Anita Yombo. As you can see, she's wearing a t-shirt saying African for Obama. What message do you have for people in Congo first?
People on the Congo or people here?
People here, no, people in Congo first.
First of all, we're here for you guys in the Congo. We are all part of this, and we're going to all try to stop this war, to stop the rape, to stop the violence, and to better the Congo.
And what about, all the support we receive from American people here in the United States regarding the situation in Congo?
I want to say that this fight has just begun. We all have to get together to end this war in the Congo. It's a really, 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 really serious problem that's plagued not only the Congo, but a big part of Central Africa. So let's all get together. Let's do something, because I can't imagine myself sitting at home quiet what this is going on in the Congo. So let's get together and do something for change.
Totally. And for President Obama, since we African and we support President Obama, what message do you have for him?
Like it says in my t-shirt, African for Obama. We African in this country.
Yeah, can you zoom in a little bit here? And zoom in out. Here you go. All right.
We African in this country. We voted for Obama. We are for Obama. So we hope, since Obama's father was from Africa, we hope that this this message goes directly to President Obama, that he will do something, that he will not sit quietly in his office and not do something for the Congo. This problem affects the President of the United States. So I hope that President Obama is going to do something to change the situation.
I would ask President Obama to shake up the entrenched possession of Eastern Congo's mineral resources, that he not stand for the status quo, that if he's really a newcomer to the government, with fresh eyes, fresh voice, fresh heart, that he look at the way the U.S. has had their involvement in Congo for decades and make a change for every woman and child and man who's imprisoned in Congo to fight in a culture of violence.
Please, Obama, help stop the killing and help us get out this underdevelopment. We need to get developed as well, so that we may be able to deal with our problems ourselves. May God bless you. We pray for you as you take over the leadership of practically of the whole world. We pray for you. We want you to know that we are praying for you. Thank you.
They're suffering up in Bunia. They're suffering up in the Kilomoto gold fields. You know the Kilomoto gold fields? In Watsa. The people from Texas were in charge of the Kilomoto gold fields for decades under Mobutu. We can name these people again, and they're the same people involved in the Congo and Africa today. And again, they're connected to the intelligence establishment. So, what do we do about it? I mean, I'm giving you a few examples, but my numbers of examples my list is very, very long of people that are responsible for the exploitation. And sometimes they're the same people we see in the media being held up as our saviors. And we have to see through the deception. So the first thing I would say, in terms of helping yourself to understand the Congo, don't read the newspapers. Don't read the New York Times, don't read the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, the LA Times, the Chicago Tribune, don't read The Nation, don't read any of it. It's just not giving you the story. It's creating mental illness. It keeps you from realizing the truth. Read the Bible. You know the truth. You know the truth. You know the truth because you lived it. And many of you were lucky enough to escape the truth. The truth of the brutality in the Congo that is absolutely unjust in this age when they're sending rockets to the moon or to Mars. For what? There's $1 trillion defense budget in this country. We're not protecting anyone. We're hurting people. And we have to challenge the people that are responsible for this weaponry and for these lies and this propaganda. So the first thing you have to do is stop consuming the propaganda. There's a lot of people that are writing the truth about the Congo. And you've got to find them and make sure that your children stay away from the newspapers and from the TV. The TV in America is insanity. So this is the first step. The next step is we can come up with a list of names of the corporations that are pivotal to this problem and the individuals. And we've got to put pressure to have these individuals arrested by the International Criminal Court.